Hey guys, and welcome to this week's edition of Charged Up News, a quick roundup of EV stories from around the globe. Today's show will include a bizarre-looking autonomous truck concept from Volvo, the Isetta-style Motolino, which has surpassed $100 million in pre-orders, Aston Martin's first foray into electric cars, a new production lap record at Laguna Seca Raceway for an electric car, and the alleged theft of a Model 3 Tesla with just a mobile phone. But first up on the show, how far can an electric car go? Well, Sylvia Wilson and her Tesla Model S with the 75 kilowatt-hour battery recently completed a 20,396 kilometre door-to-door journey around Australia. Using the Round Australia Electric Superhighway, a loop of charging stations, her fuel costs were a measly $150.90. Sylvia's motivation for the trip was to fulfill the dream that she and her late husband had to experience driving around the country, as well as proving that electric cars are far more capable than just the city cars. As well as living off the grid with solar power, Sylvia, at the age of 70, has clearly shown us a clean, green, supercharged future. Developed by the Swiss company Micro Mobility Systems, the Motolino has recently surpassed 8,000 pre-orders. Taking design cues from the Isetta, an Italian-style microco built in the 50s, the Motolino features a single front door opening and a single bench seat for two. According to the company, the goal was to create a vehicle which was inspired by the bubble cars from the 50s, but with modern designs and technology. In addition, it should be eco-friendly in production and during usage. With a top speed of 90 km an hour, a choice of an 8 or 14.4 kilowatt-hour lithium battery pack, and a range from 120 to 200 kilometres, the Motolino could be the perfect step up for easy, quick, dry transport around many European cities. Chrysler, a company known for their development of battery storage systems for e-mobility as well as stationary storage systems, has recently presented an automated two-speed transmission for electric vehicles. In car applications, this type of transmission would allow fast acceleration at low speed, as well as a higher top speed whilst keeping the motor relatively small. In their promo video, Chrysler shows the potential to have all-wheel drive configurations and fantastic performance and range, but the gearbox could also be a perfect fit for small to medium-sized trucks and buses. Will gearboxes have a future in electric transport, or is it adding unnecessary complexity and weight when you could simply upsize the motor? So what do you guys think of this? At first glance, it looks like a concept car has had an unfortunate accident with a trailer, but according to Volvo, the Vera could be the future of trucking transport. Being autonomous, the trucks will be monitored by a control centre which tracks the live location, the load, state of charge, whilst doing away with the human component which explains the bizarre look. The Vera will connect to any standard trailer, and initially Volvo anticipates it will be used in controlled environments such as ports where the truck would be travelling on a predefined route. It's going to be a strange world when these things are thundering down the highway right behind you. Now, when I first saw a picture of this latest concept from Mercedes-Benz, I honestly didn't know which way the car was supposed to move. It's like the Borg from Star Trek have assimilated one of Mercedes' vans, or possibly the Minions have designed Gru's latest car. Realistically though, this is Mercedes' take on the future of autonomous and electric on-demand vehicles to transport both people and cargo. What this means for our cities is that perhaps car ownership will simply be a thing of the past. Why deal with the initial purchase, running costs and parking if you can just order any style of vehicle through your phone to come and pick you up? I personally can't imagine not ever owning a car, but perhaps my son never will. In my opinion, Aston Martin have designed some of the most beautiful cars ever made. And this, the Rapid E, is set to be their first battery electric car. Limited to a special edition run of 155 units, it will be powered by an 800 volt, 65 kilowatt hour pack giving sub 4 seconds 0 to 100 times, and potential 300 plus range. Now, while I love that all these manufacturers are getting on board with the electric revolution, when you have the Tesla Model S that's been out there for a while now with blistering quarter-mile times and over 300 mile or 480k range, and the Roadster due in 2020 with a 9-second quarter-mile and potential 600 mile or nearly 1,000 kilometre range, perhaps Aston Martin should have been aiming a little higher? Also in the UK, Jaguar has confirmed that the I-Pace e-Trophy race series will begin from December the 15th, 2018 in Saudi Arabia. There will be 20 cars prepared by the company's special vehicle operations, with 10 rounds in the championship running alongside the Formula E races. With the standard I-Pace having a 0 to 100 time of just 4.5 seconds, the races should be very entertaining considering it will be a grid full of celebrity drivers. 25 minutes of flogging somebody else's car on a racetrack sounds pretty good to me. Our last 3 stories are all Tesla related. And we start with Tesla's policy for natural disaster situations. Last year, before Hurricane Irma, Tesla made it as easy as possible for owners to escape affected areas. This year, with the threat of Hurricane Florence, Tesla has again unrestricted the software-limited shorter-range battery-optioned cars, as well as giving free access to the supercharging, including access to cars that weren't sold with that service. As Teslas are connected wirelessly to the company, all of these services are available at a moment's notice. In Minnesota, a man has allegedly stolen one of the new Tesla Model 3s using just his smartphone. Apparently he managed to manipulate the system by using the car's ID number and convincing Tesla customer support to add the car to his account. He then went on a bit of a road trip, over 1,000 miles, but his undoing was that he was also using the supercharger network. The owner then tracked him down and saw where the car was charging, called the local cops, who picked him up. Although it's not great for this owner to have to go through this, it does mean good news for the rest of the Tesla fleet, as a security upgrade will surely be quickly on the way. I just love wireless upgrades. Go to sleep one night, you wake up the next morning and your car is improved. Lastly, for this week, a Tesla has reclaimed the production car EV lap record at Laguna Seca. Most recently, the record was broken by Jaguar in their I-Pace with a pro driver in a time of 1:48.18. There was an unofficial time set by a Model S P100D of 1:47.62, but apparently that had been slightly modified and didn't count. But now, Cameron Rogers, with his Model 3 performance model, has set a new benchmark with a super quick time of 1:46.8. This is on par with the time from the Nissan Nismo 370Z, but quicker than the Subaru WRX STI and the Mitsubishi Evo 10. It looks like Laguna Seca might become the proving ground for new EVs. So, thanks for tuning into the show. If you want to keep up to date with the latest EV news, hit subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.